Hello, dear radio listeners and viewers joining us via the live stream or possibly the replay. I'm Shantae, also known as Life Coach 614 here on social media, and I am thrilled to have each and every one of you here today as we embark on a journey of self-care and well-being together. Now, before we dive into today's main topic, let's set a few ground rules to ensure a positive experience for everyone. To maintain a harmonious atmosphere, our dedicated admins and moderators are here to assist us with the chat. Please remember that this space is all about sharing, caring, and embracing each other's unique self-care journey. Your active participation and engagement are key to cultivating the positive energy we value here. We kindly ask that you be mindful of your contributions, as all donations and subscriptions during the live stream directly support the Self-Care Club LLC. Your generosity creates a ripple effect of positivity within our community, enabling us to continue to spread joy with purpose. If anyone is seeking any additional information about the Self-Care Club, or you are ready to book your personalized one-on-one life coaching session, please visit theselfcareclub.org for more details. Now, let's pledge to make this community a beacon of positivity for everyone. If you are ready to embark on a new self-care adventure, please flood the chat with some green hearts for me. Thank you, thank you. Welcome in, Darlene. Thank you, Perk. I see you. All right, so our topic today is going to be overcoming loneliness. Y'all, all this month we have been talking about one love, right? And we've been talking about self-love. We've been talking about, building ourselves up as a means of showing up and being a better version of ourselves in our communities. And so a lot of times when people start to head out on their self-care journey and they, start to do these things, it starts off as a very solitary exercise or activity. And so a lot of times we find ourselves being lonely. And so today I wanted to talk about, overcoming that loneliness and finding the love within you and around you. You said, Ruffman says that's a big one for me. Yeah, so we're going to talk about, some ways that we can try to overcome this loneliness and, find the love not only within, but the love that is surrounding us. And I know that, this particular topic touches so many of our lives, and it often goes unseen, and it's a silent, right? Loneliness is that silent pain that we deal with. And so, we live in such a fast-paced world, and thankfully it's a digitally connected world, right? And so we have ways to communicate like never before, but many of us end up feeling isolated, right? It used to be that when we wanted to connect with our loved ones, we had to get up, we had to go over their house, or, we had to take trips to do things. Hey, MK. But now all of a sudden, we live in a world where people just send a text message. We FaceTime one another, things like that. And again, those are things and tools that can be good, but for some of us, it still leaves us feeling very lonely on the inside. And so today, I just want to explore how we can overcome this loneliness by finding the love within ourselves, and then, ways that we can begin to foster meaningful connections with others, right? Thank you so much for that, She Ready. I appreciate you. Mr. T, be yourself. Welcome in. All right, so again, let's begin by tapping in and talking about self-acceptance and self-love, right? So the journey to overcoming loneliness begins with ourself. All right, it starts with us. And y'all know, I keep telling y'all, we got self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, self-confidence, right? So all of those things begin with self. It starts with us. Thank you so much for the gifts. Self-acceptance is the foundation upon which we build our sense of belonging, right? It's how we embrace who we are with all of our strengths, all of our imperfections, It is where we begin to understand that nobody is perfect, right? None of us are without some sort of imperfection. We all have flaws. We all make mistakes, right? So no one's perfect. And so when we're talking about self-acceptance and self-love, we have to remember that, it is important for us to embrace who we are with all of our strengths, all of our imperfections. Again, understanding that nobody's perfect, and that is perfectly okay, right? I am a perfect imperfection, and that is okay. Self-love means treating yourself with the same kindness and the same compassion that you would a friend or family member, right? It's about us practicing our self-care, nurturing our well-being, and reminding ourselves daily of our worth. Because when was our worth established? Who knows? When was our worth established? Does anybody know? DK1, welcome in. Betty Brinkley, do you know when your worth was established? At birth, baby. Yes, Sweet said at birth. At birth. And so we have to remind ourselves of our worth. We have to remind ourselves of our value. Yes, be yourself. I see it. So we have to remember whose we are. We have to remember who we are. We got to start putting some respect on our name. And so, that starts by exploring our interests. Because if we're going to remember who we are, then we have to start to tap into who we are, right? So we've got to figure out what our interests are. And so exploring activities that we're passionate about can be a powerful antidote to loneliness. Rich Risings, Lady Blue, welcome in, sis. So whether it's, painting, hiking, volunteering, learning a new language, right? Anytime you're pursuing your interests, it starts to bring up feelings of joy and feelings of fulfillment. Welcome in, Mello. And so we want to make sure that we're tapping into the things that bring us pleasure, so that way we can, start to deter these lonely feelings, right? It opens the doors to meeting new like-minded people. So a lot of times when we just tap into what our hobbies are and the things that we like, then all of a sudden we start to meet other people. So it could be, if you have a creative streak and you want to go to, Joann's or Michael's or whatever craft store you have locally, and you want to buy some new canvases and some paint. Just taking that trip to the store to buy the canvases, some new paint, get some new things, you might meet some other people who are in there buying canvases. You might realize, hey, there's a couple other people who are into the same thing that I'm into. Maybe we can meet in the park and go paint. Where I can still pour into myself, but then I'm surrounded by some other people. Or maybe when you get to the craft store, they have classes. And you can just come there and take the classes to further your skill, right? So remember that when we start to tap into the things that we're passionate about and we start to develop these new hobbies, this allows us to open the door to meeting new people who share the same passions. We have the opportunities to join clubs, groups, and communities that have, topics that are related to our interests, right? To the things that we're interested in. Because these settings provide natural opportunities for us to form connections and friendships. Hutch, welcome in. I see you, Lady Blue. Thank you so much. Lady Deetra, welcome in. So again, make sure that you're taking the time to explore your interests. And then, as we're exploring our interests, like I said, that opens the door for us to meet new people, right? So we're going to start expanding our social circle, right? We're going to take small yet intentional steps to expand our social circle. And that starts by initiating conversations with coworkers, classmates, neighbors, people on social media, right? I've been great, Hutch. How about yourself? And so again, you know, we live in the digital world, you guys. And for many of us, either we push the button and we go live, or we go sit in other people's lives, right? And so we have to take an intentional step to communicate with people and to get to know other people, right? It's more than what we see just on the surface. Sometimes it's just as, you know, simple as asking someone how their day is, how things are going, right? Especially if the person has content, like if you're a person who's watching someone's live stream and they have content that interests you, and the conversation is something that piques your interest, then join in, talk to them, engage with them, right? Jump into the conversation with them. So you want to make sure, you know, that you're doing things like attending social events, workshops, gatherings, utilizing social media for good, right? That way you can start to meet new people, and you can meet new people and continue to network as you go. Bear with me for a moment, you guys. So again, expanding our social circle is an important part of tackling this loneliness, right? And I know it sounds silly because you're like, well, if you're lonely, of course you go out there and network with people. But you have some people who are introverts, right? And this is something that is easier said than done. But I just want to remind you that it's not impossible, because I'm possible, right? So it's not impossible. It's something that I can do. I just have to operate within the level of comfort that works for me. And so for some of us, you know, getting out there and meeting new people is difficult, right? We have a hard time wanting to do that because it brings on some anxiety for some people, right? And so what we do is, okay, let's start to connect with people virtually, right? So then you're safe. You know, especially after COVID, a lot of us are like, no touchy, no people, I don't want the germs, right? And so for many of us, you know, we utilize social media to try to network with people. You know, coming here, when you guys are here in the mornings with me and you're listening to the content, start to network with the people in the chat, right? You're going to start to see the same people day after day after day, right? And so start to have conversations with them, even if it's just during the live stream. So it's a group setting, no harm. You know what I mean? Like it's a safe space for you to do that. And that's what it's for. For those of you who are not a part of our self-care club chat, we actually have a private chat for our self-care club members to also help us, to help others to be able to come out of their shell in a safe space, things like that. So, I mean, again, we've got to start to tap into these resources and start to build our communities and create our safe spaces where we can operate and get out of these lonely places, right? Because if you sit in loneliness too long, it gets dark, right? And we start to invite these other things in that we really don't want to be a part of our life. All right? So again, think about and really consider, expanding your social circle. Remembering that building relationships takes time and effort, but each step that you take brings you closer to forming meaningful connections. So every little step, right? Like Bobby Brown said, every little step I take, right, is going to bring you closer to forming meaningful connections. Now, as we're going out here and we're thinking about, we're thinking about expanding our social circle, right? We also cannot forget to nurture our existing relationships. Let's not forget about those that are right here with us already, right? The friends and family that we currently have. It is definitely important to seek new connections. However, we cannot forget to value our existing connections. So that's our existing friends and family. And it's okay to have multiple social groups, right? I've got my friends that are cool to kick it with and take trips with and party with, right? I got my friends that, When I'm in need of guidance and prayer and motivation, these are the people that I go to over here, right? When I want to get a little toxic energy and I want to get the tea, I know who to go to over here, right? So it's okay to have different networks. And you just happen to be the common denominator for all of them, right? So it's okay. You just want to make sure that you don't throw this group, away because you found somebody new. You can have both, right? What's up, Lethal? Soul Survivor, welcome in. So, make sure that you are spending quality time with your friends and your family. And when we're spending this time with them, make sure that we're listening actively and attentively, right? Offering support and showing appreciation for their presence in your life. We want to make sure that we have honest communication with them. So if we're not getting something from our existing tribe, we want to make sure that we're honestly communicating with them to let them know, like, hey, I've been feeling this way, and to see if they're able to then rise to the occasion and to give you what you need, right? So don't hesitate to share your feelings of loneliness with people. And it's okay to be vulnerable with your trusted individuals. We don't have to keep it all in. We don't have to carry it all on our own. Strong supportive relationships can definitely provide us with that companionship and the emotional support that each and every one of us needs. We all desire community. We all desire companionship. And, whether you're talking romantically or platonically, within co-workers, at the end of the day, none of us want to be alone. None of us want to feel alone. I definitely value my alone time, but I could not imagine life without people. So, we've got to be open to new relationships. And again, I don't care how introverted you are. You've got to be open to new relationships, which is actually my next tip. A lot of people have been so secluded and so lonely that all of a sudden now they're just closed off to the idea of meeting new people. Hey, Coco, welcome in, sis. They're closed off to the idea of meeting new people. But the key is that we're open and vulnerable when we're building new relationships. You've got to allow yourself to be genuine. You have to be willing to share your thoughts and your feelings and listen to others. Okay? It takes investing time and effort into forming these friendships, right? So you've got to really want it. And I'm not going to say that every single one is going to pan out, right? Because we know that people are put in our lives for reasons, seasons, or lifetimes. Rich Rising's Faith, welcome in, love. And so we've got to be willing to simply invest some time into forming these relationships with the understanding that this person is going to be in my life for a reason, which means they came to show me something, good or bad. They're going to be here for a season, which means they're going to come and go, just like winter, spring, summer, fall. But I'm going to invest this time and effort into this because this person could be a lifetime person. This person could be in my life until the end of my days, right? So I want to make sure that I'm building trust and rapport. And I know that those things take time, right? Because only time can tell if this is a person that I can truly trust. So transparency is key. Like I'm going to maintain my privacy, meaning I'm not going to just come in and tell you everything about me out the door. But I am going to be transparent. I'm going to operate in a level that is comfortable for me. So, again, genuine connections are worth the investment, you guys. And remember that everyone that you meet has the potential to bring new joy into your life and introduce a new meaning to your life. Because we don't meet people accidentally, right? Every single thing that happens in life is purposeful. And so we want to make sure that, just like we're trying to improve ourselves in order to improve the quality of our lives, we want to make sure that that energy that we're serving people is right. So we want to just make sure that we are showing up being Thank you, Whitney. We want to make sure that we're showing up being the good, right? That we're delivering positive vibes to people. And so that's why it's key to be careful when you open your mouth to complain, right? Especially on social media, right? For those of us who are networking digitally, we have to be mindful when we open our mouth to complain. Now, I'm not saying to hide your feelings. You know, if you're having a bad day, you're having a bad day, right? But I am saying that you have to shift the priority of the conversation, shift the focus of the conversation. Because when you open your mouth to complain, people are listening. And so if you are making it a habit to constantly complain about the way things are, and you're always complaining about the way your life is, then all of a sudden you're attracting people who want to also complain. Like, you're attracting this toxic energy. And so then when you get out of this season of complaining, now all the people who are attracted to you, they're drawn to your mess. They're drawn to your drama, right? You've now manifested all of these energy vampires. And you yourself have become an energy vampire because now you are known to drain people's energy. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. You guys, I have had friends that every single time I pick up the phone and I could be in great spirits, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm good. And they're like, yeah, girl, because my dog died, my cat ate the fish, the bird flew out the window, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, why did I even ask her how she was doing today? Like, now all of a sudden I'm vibrating on a lower level because I answered this person's phone call. So now I had to set my boundary so I don't answer these people's calls anymore. And I had to get over the guilt of avoiding people. But I had to understand that avoidance was protecting my energy. But then I had to ask myself, am I constantly complaining? Am I constantly entertaining the complaints? And so as soon as I started shifting what I was doing, when people started asking me, hey, how you doing? We started saying, I'm tired as hell, but alive and well. Right? So I let you know I'm tired, I'm overworked, I'm sleep deprived, right? So I tell people, yeah, I'm tired as hell, but I end with, but I'm alive and well. Right? When I first got with my husband, he would always ask me when I would come home or on the way home, hey baby, how was your day? How was work? And y'all, work had worked me completely over. I was so annoyed with what was going on at the job, but I didn't want to bring it home. I wanted to leave it at work. And so he would ask me, you know, babe, how was work? And I used to always say, work is work. Work was work. And I would leave it at that. I would not even discuss it anymore. I'm just like, listen, work was work. Because if I come home and I now complain about work, then I'm allowing work to take too much of my energy again. Right? Or when I go to work, I'm not going to talk about getting into it with my son before school, or, you know, not nearly having enough gas in the car and I'm late to work because I had to stop and get gas because my husband forgot to fill up. I'm not going to bring that into the job with me. So when I get to work and people say, well, how's work? I'm like, or how was, you know, how are you doing this morning? And I'm like, you know, tired as hell, but alive and well. I'm here. I'm still standing. I'm late, but I showed up. You know what I mean? So make sure that you yourself aren't manifesting that negative energy into your life. Excuse me. And so that leads us into, well, we were finishing up on being open to these relationships. And when I say be open, I want you to be mindful of the relationship too. And then, you know, it leads us into this next tip, which is practice gratitude. Y'all know with every single thing we do, we need to practice gratitude, right? We need to have this attitude of gratitude because, you know, I say it over and over again. Thank you, love. I say it over and over again that when you focus on the good gets better, right? And so we want to cultivate a mindset of gratitude, not complaining so much, right? Nobody wants to be listening to you complain all the time. And the people who do, they're the people who are also sitting in misery, which is why they love that company, right? Thank you for the follow, Lynn. And so we want to make sure that we're taking time to cultivate this attitude of gratitude, this mindset of gratitude. It's important for us to regularly reflect on the positive aspects of our life. And, just that simple process of, as soon as I open my mouth to say something negative, I got to immediately follow it up with something good. Right? So, y'all said, how was your day? And I'm like, oh my God, da 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 da. Well, now I've said it. So I need to shift the atmosphere. I need to change it. So I need to come back with something good. That's why we started saying, girl, I'm tired as hell. I ain't getting no sleep last night. The dogs kept barking all night. I'm tired as hell. But you know what? I'm alive and well. It could be worse. I did get a couple hours of sleep, which, gave me the energy to be here today. And, I got a light load, so I can take a nap if I want to. Right? So I need to immediately get out of that dark space. I need to immediately get off of that negative vibe. Because I don't want the person or the people that I'm talking to then be drained by what little bit of energy that I got. Right? So I want to make sure that I'm able to shift that. And kind of turn that around a little bit. So that way I'm not the person who's draining everyone else's energy. And then I don't want to attract people coming in and draining what little bit of energy that I got. So, this simple practice can help us shift our focus from the feelings of loneliness and being, by ourselves to the appreciation for the relationships that we do have and the opportunities that we do have, right? Gratitude helps us to see the beauty in our connections with others, and it helps us to reinforce a sense of belonging. Many of us who feel lonely only feel lonely because we don't know where we belong. We have yet to find where we fit in, and that's because we have yet to tap into these spaces and communities that are actually for us, right? Or it could be that we've shifted, our views and opinions for life have kind of shifted, and the things that we used to do, right? Those childish things that we used to do, we just simply don't do anymore. Teeb, welcome in. And so, we've just got to kind of shift our mindset to not be in this negative space. And it is ultimately a choice, you guys. It starts with what we watch, what we listen to, who we associate with, right? If you still feel like you're sitting in these dark places, then shift what you're watching, because sometimes it could just be the energy that we're absorbing from what we're watching on TV or the people that we're hanging around. And that does mean virtually too. We've got to get out of these dark spaces. So again, we've got to build these communities. We've got to create these spaces and build these spaces. And so the last tip that I have, which is something that I feel like I end with every single time, but I'm not going to stop because I think it's key, is seeking professional help. You guys know that I am a huge advocate for mental health awareness. Being a life coach, I'm probably a bit biased, but I'm going to always tell you guys, seek help. All right? It is very important and key for us to get the help that we need, so that way we can begin to break these ties and shift these mindsets and grow through these things that we're going through in life. And so if loneliness is something that you feel like is persisting and it is significantly impacting your well-being, I need you to hear me when I say it is okay to seek help. Thank you, Peach. It is absolutely okay to seek help. You have therapists, you have life coaches, you have counselors, you have support communities who can provide you with valuable support and guidance on this journey. These people are here, people such as myself and the communities that I have and that I am a part of. We are here to help you explore, these underlying factors that are contributing to your loneliness, right? We're here to help you develop coping skills and to do things to work towards building fulfilling relationships, right? We want to help you grow. We want to help you get through things. So again, hear me when I say it is okay to ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Ultimately, it is a sign of strength. It means that you know that you want more. It means that you know that you deserve more, or that you don't like where you currently are. Right? So we have to begin to reach out. We have to begin to lean on one another to say, hey, I'm feeling a little lonely, or I'm feeling a little low vibrational, or I could use some companionship. I could use a community. Right? Because this space that I'm in right now is dark, and I don't like it. And when I'm here by myself, I'm thinking things that I don't want to think. Right? And I'm trying to get through life on my own, and I'm trying not to be a burden, because that's what it is. A lot of times we feel like we're a burden to other people because we're going through something, and everybody around us seems so happy. So we feel like we can't inconvenience them or burden them with what we're going through, right? But you're not a burden, because if these people value your presence, then they have to value the season that you happen to be in as well, and help to push you over to the next season, right? To get you through to the next space. So again, make sure that you are seeking help, whether that is professional help, whether that is help from the people around you. You've got to be able to tell people, I'm feeling lonely, or I'm feeling sad. It is 100% okay to not be okay. There's no harm in it. Because like I said, we all vibrate low sometimes. Each and every one of us have low moments. The key is to not sit in those low moments. The key is to not stay in those dark spaces for too long. So, as we conclude today, I just want to remind you that overcoming loneliness is a gradual process that involves both involves both inner growth and reaching out to others. By nurturing your self-love, exploring your interests, expanding your social circles, and fostering meaningful relationships, you can start to cultivate a richer, more connected life. Each step that you take will help to contribute to building up your resilience against this loneliness, and it will help you start to find the love within yourself and the joy and happiness of, finding these connections with other people. Remember, you're not alone in feeling lonely. Every single one of us has felt lonely at a point in our lives. So together, what we can do is work to create a world where this love, right, this genuine love, connection, and understanding start to flourish. And we're going to keep doing so by showing up each day for us. We're going to keep growing, and we're going to keep learning new things and being here for each other. So as always, I thank each and every one of you for being a part of my community, the self-care community. And it's not even my community, it's our community, right? I thank you guys for being a part of this community. I thank you for showing up for you today. I thank you for showing up for me today. And I want you to know that your presence is a gift to me, right? So more importantly than the gifts that you guys throw, your presence, you just being here, is truly a gift to me. And I thank you for that. And I hope that, my presence and the content that I provide for you guys is also a blessing for you. Your support during our live streams really, truly mean a lot to me. More than I can explain sometimes, you guys, because even when I'm feeling a little low and I come here and I deliver the message that is put on me to share, it changes things for me as well. So I do thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for being here for us, right? For you and for me. If anybody has any questions or suggestions that they would like to share with me, please feel free to reach out. And until next time, I hope that you take care of yourself and embrace the wonderful and unique person that you are. You are amazing. You are all worthy and valuable. So please just keep showing up for you and keep believing in yourself. I hope to see each and every one of you again during our next group life coaching session. We will meet again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do meet weekdays, so Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. For anyone who came in late or you want to go back and kind of catch some information, make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, the @ symbol, and then Life Coach 614 so you can catch the replays. You can also go back and revisit other topics that may be pertinent to the season that you're in right now. And with that, that's all I got for y'all today. So go be amazing. Have an amazing day on purpose, filled with purpose.